Okay, Thursday the 13th of August, and I'm going to step into shadow work today. A dangerous thing to do. I'll try not to get myself condemned, because you see, we're in the aftermath of a total eclipse of the sun. Well, it was total in some places. And what happens in an eclipse is the bright side of the sun, well, it's bright all the way around, but it gets concealed, doesn't it, by the moon. So we see that which we don't normally see, that which is behind us. It reveals the shadow, in other words. Eclipses trigger all sorts of events, and this is one of them. And that's what I want to look at, because astrologers love to talk about the shadow and the shadow work. It makes you feel deep, doesn't it? We talk about the shadow, yeah? But actually, what happens if you step near it? People run away in horror. It's like, no, I didn't really mean it. I just like to talk about it. And there's an event in the run-up, which I referred to a few days ago. The astrologer Steven Forrest in America, 80 years old, very respected astrologer. He loves to address the shadow work, which in a real sense is always for the few, even amongst astrologers, as was shown. He was having a discussion about racism, which is great shadow territory. And racism itself is shadow, but also is our condemnation of it. Yeah, it works both ways. And he was talking to a fellow astrologer who's black, and they were talking about racism as an exploration of the shadow. And he brought up the N word, and he actually enunciated it. It's like, wow, there's a word. I'm not going to say it, yeah? Not here, yeah? It's a word that you don't even use. It's that far in the shadow, yeah? It's taboo. Well, we need to understand taboos, yeah? We need to be able to talk about them. And so that's what he was doing. And he was met with condemnation from most, probably, not by no means all, from a large part of the astrology world, and cancelled from a conference. Now, we need these rules, yeah? We need simple rules. The human herd does, yeah? This is good, this is bad, and we don't even go near what's bad. And most of the astrological world is like that as well. It is part of the human herd, and it gives societies stability wherever you look. But if you want to do shadow work, you step outside of the herd. You look at that which you condemn in others, as the Bible talks about looking at the plank in your own eye when you condemn others. And yeah, racism's a bad thing, yeah? But when we condemn it in others, yeah, when we condemn in that sort of way, we get something for ourselves. They're bad and we're good. And it keeps us safely within the bounds we belong to the herd. So that's what I'm getting at. Look at your own condemnation. Yes, we all know racism's a bad thing, yeah? But it's that condemnation. So the shadow is that in ourselves which we're ashamed of as well, yeah? What would you find very difficult to talk about to others? That's another way in. So there's both these ways. What would you find really difficult to talk to about others, which you've done or that you are, yeah? And what is it that you condemn in others? And that way you can begin to step outside of that human herd, yeah? And own your own soul, because there's a lot of energy in that shadow. We use a lot of energy in keeping others condemned, yeah? Because we're keeping sides of ourselves condemned. So this is the choice that the eclipse has revealed. Yeah? Do you want to just talk about the shadow and pretend to yourself that you're a deeper astrologer? Or do you want, like Steven Forrest, to have the courage to actually step into it?